Okay, imagine this. It's morning, you're getting ready to go to work. You're going out to your car, you're reading your email while you eat your breakfast, you're pulling the latest commit from your GitHub repository, whatever it is. Just then your boss walks up to you, you get an email, you get a text, and he says, "Are you ready for the big exam today?" Wait, what? The big exam today? You ask, you send. Of course the exam. It's that time of year when we evaluate your content knowledge with a 3-hour multiple choice standardized exam. This is really happening. This is really happening. How does that make you feel? How does your face react? How does your posture react? Do you feel anxious? Do you feel unprepared? Or do you feel like I feel? Because I know how I would feel. I would feel like an exam at this point in my life is a total waste of time. Why would that feel like a waste of time? An exam is only an assessment, right? It's a way for your supervisor to evaluate how much you know. It's a way for your boss to check in on you and maybe support you. It could even be grounds for promotion. Isn't that a great reason for an exam? Sure, it's a great reason. But guess what? You already have a means of achieving those goals. Doing your job every day achieves your goals. Just because you have good reasons doesn't mean it's the best way to spend your time on any given day. And you know what? We have great reasons for students to take exams too, don't we? But this video is about another means of accomplishing those goals. What if I told you I had an activity that evaluated the student's content knowledge and their ability to collaborate with others, resourcefulness, adaptability in unexpected situations, an opportunity to subject their work to peer review, and it doesn't even require grading outside of school. Collaboration, resourcefulness, adaptability, peer review. Don't those sound like the kinds of skills that you might need, for a real job? I'm going to tell you exactly how I did that, but before I do, I want to let you know that my name is Ben. I make videos about innovation. Sometimes it has to do with technology, and other times it's about education. If you're into that, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I come out with new videos every weekend. Anyway, let's get back to this assessment. So here's how this goes down, okay? Students form groups of 4. This is not unlike a heist movie. Right, listen carefully, I'll read the instructions. We are to enter the room and immediately sit in our assigned groups. Each of us will receive a multiple choice test, and our group will receive one single answer sheet matrix for the group to share. For each question, we may discuss, consult notes, and share our work in order to arrive at our answer. This sounds good to me so far. How many questions are on this exam? 7 to 8. You mean to tell me we got 40 minutes to answer 8 questions with open note and we can share answers? This is child's play. Well, it may sound like child's play at first, but this exam is written for this situation. That means the questions are a lot harder. Furthermore, while there may only be 8 questions, you'll probably be answering some of those questions more than once. You say we will do questions more than once. Do explain. Your answer goes in the far left column of that matrix. While you work, I'm circulating the room, checking answers as you write them. When I get to your table, I start looking at all of the answers you have written, beginning in the far left column. If it's correct, I mark a check and you get credit for it. If it's incorrect, I give an X and a second attempt. You can write your second answer in the next column over. Meanwhile, I'm continually checking answers all around the room. On an exam with 5 multiple choice answers, you get 4 points for a correct answer on your first attempt, 3 points for your answer on your second attempt, 2 points, then 1 point if you can figure it out after 3 answers have been eliminated.
If my calculations are accurate, that's 100% credit for correct answers on the first attempt, while 25% of the credit for a single question is deducted for each subsequent attempt, or precisely 3.125% of the final exam score, assuming an 8-question test and uniform point distribution, of course.
Did I just see some super math brain trigonometry coming out of your face when you was doing calculus? So, let me get this straight. We work in a group, multiple choice, open note, and if we aren't correct, we get partial credit on our second or third attempts.
Yes, exactly that.
And what? We all get the same grade?
That's right. Everyone in the group gets the same grade.
And what if single moron in group make mistake? I don't like that you're looking at me.
You all get the same grade.
It's not fair. It's communism. Why do you think that's unfair? Think of it this way. You can earn 100 as long as you can justify your answer to such an extent that your arguments are stronger than any of the other morons in your group. It sounds like what you are saying is this exam doesn't merely test our knowledge, but our ability to verify one another's answers using resources and logic. Precisely.
If I may chime in here, in a normal testing environment, after a student has tried their best, it is common practice for them to guess when all else fails. When the exam is over, they submit it and often wait for days, if not weeks, for the exam to be graded. Contrastingly, by receiving live feedback, we're given the opportunity to not only earn a higher score, but to identify our mistakes, reflect upon our work, and perhaps even improve upon them. In other words, we learn as we take this test.
Ding, ding, ding. Hey, I got a question. What I do to get put in a crew like this? I seen better crews in amateur YouTube videos. Groups are assigned by the teacher based on performance. But I try to ensure that the highest performing students are in one group and the lowest performing students are in another.
Oh,
I don't think so, pal. Hold on, calm down now. I know how that might sound, but I can assure you, parents and students love this. And let me tell you why. Let's get one thing straight, though. The reason you are here is to learn. The rewards of learning, high exam scores, high grades, whatever, they come after that. Let's suppose instead of grouping students by ability, I group them heterogeneously. The highest performing student, student 1.
Например, I'm student 1.
And the lowest performing student, student 2.
Hey, why am I student 2 in the example?
Are in the same group in this scenario. How do you think these two students would treat each other? If student 2 wants to say something, do you think student 1 would listen? Would student 2 even dare correct student 1 if they thought student 1 made a mistake? What do you think is going to happen? Student 2 is going to realize that he or she has scored a sweet deal and rest on student 1's laurels. Meanwhile, student 1 has one less partner to collaborate with in a meaningful way. But if we put student 2 in a voice with his or her peers, and student 2 knows that, suddenly student 2's voice matters in a whole different way. There's no reason to not be respected or heard. You can be yourself, you can be honest, you don't have to be afraid of being made fun of. Now, of course, that might feel better, but it might not be enough to give student 2 hope, right? Like, they could still fail. But something else is going on. Throughout the entire exam period, I am circling the room knowing how those students were grouped, and I know which students might need to be targeted for extra help. Not only do I know, but I'm actually grading them as they progress. So if I need to, I can direct instruction where it might be needed. Maybe I can offer a hint. Maybe I can tell a student where they might find a helpful resource in their notebook. There are a lot of things that I as a teacher can do while this is happening that actually put those students who are usually low performing at a greater advantage than they would be if they were working in isolation. This much is absolutely true though. By grouping students homogeneously, individually, each student will learn more, and they'll probably even have more success than any other pairing. Simultaneously, higher performing students are able to challenge each other on a much higher level. Consequently, students at both ends of the bell curve are supported. There are very few activities that achieve this level of efficiency. Those are group assessments. They're only one of 2 types of assessments that I've used in my classroom to improve the culture of learning. Another type is paired assessments, which I will make another video about, and you can check out a link in the description or a card up above. If you enjoyed this video or you learned something, please give it a like, but if you really liked it, do even better. If you're not a teacher and you know a teacher, go ahead and forward it to them. We might not be able to change exam policies on a national level immediately, but we can start making meaningful changes in classrooms when individual teachers start to implement some creative ideas. This particular activity is especially useful because it's actually less work to prepare since it gets graded while it's being taken. In fact, I have a few resources that I've put on the website that you can see down in the description below. So check those out. And if you happen to be a geometry or a computer science teacher, I put a link to my high school geometry and AP Computer Science A multiple choice group assessments down in the description. You should definitely check that out. Anyway, I'm also on Twitter at NeverBeenBetter, and I have a blog at neverbeenbetter.com. Thanks for watching.
Comrades, let us break something.